Hello everyone, welcome to VENKANNA ENGLISHGURU. I am your Dr. Venkanna Kuncham and I am known to many people as an expert in pedagogy of teaching English, and I was the first lecturer and who started teaching pedagogy or methodology of teaching English for the first time and since 2006 in integrated Andhra Pradesh, and many of my students got through state first rankers in DSC 2008, 2012, 2014, 2018 and Gurukula state toppers working in all different residential schools who are working as TGTs and PGTs are my students, and most of the degree lecturers, state toppers of AP-DL 2017 and AP-JL 2018 and Telangana Gurukula degree lecturers, junior lecturers and degree lecturers, both top rankers are my students. And as you know, I was the first candidate to qualify UGC JRF, UGC NET and Junior Research Fellowship in both English literature and education. And as you know, I did my MA and MED from Osmania University and PGCT, MPhil and PhD from English and Foreign Languages University. I have more than 16 years of teaching experience in teaching English grammar, English literature and particularly pedagogy of teaching English. And in this video, I am going to talk about how and what is the syllabus for Gurukula-TGT, PGT and JL and DL pedagogy of teaching English, and what are the chapters and how you need to read and what are the reference books that you need to refer. That I am planning to talk about as part of this video and listen to. So as part of this TGT, PGT English, and there are 10 important chapters. And the first chapter is the nature of language and its historical development. And the first chapter, the nature of language and its historical development, and which includes and where we talk about what is language, what are the definitions of language, what is the nature of language, what is the scope of language, what is the meaning of language. Based on the features of language, every time there will be a bit. There are a number of definitions with regard to language you need to learn. Next, for example, language is a set of habits. Learning language is a habit formation process during which we acquire new habits. 2017 Gurukula bit and 2018 Gurukula bit. Like that you need to know. Language is primarily dash, again bit. Language is arbitrary. Language is arbitrariness. Language has a lot of displacement. Language is reflexive. Language is culturally transmitted. Language is reflexive. Like there are plenty of linguistic features suggested by C.F. Hockett. This is also a Gurukula examination oriented bit. Those aspects you need to know. Next, what is mother tongue? What is mother tongue? What is first language? What is the major difference between mother tongue and first language? Next, what is second language? What is third language? How English is used in India, in Telangana or in Andhra Pradesh as a first language or second language or third language? What are the committees recommended for English as first or second or third language in Indian context? Those aspects we need to know. Next, different types of languages. How English is used today. English is used as English for academic purposes, English for specific purposes, English for general purposes. Like English is categorized according to many ELTians. English is categorized in different aspects. How English is different from English from general purposes, academic purposes and specific purposes, we need to know as part of this. Languages of different professions, that comes under that. Next, importance of language across curriculum. Today, language across curriculum, LAS. What is the full form of LAS? This is also a bit as part of C-TET and TET. LAS, language across curriculum, language across school curriculum. Like what is this language across curriculum? That we need to know. Next, contribution of creative writers. What is the role of Harold D. Palmer, Henry Sweet, Noam Chomsky and Jean Piaget in relation to in the development of English language, all those aspects. And apart from, you should also know what are the principles of teaching English as second language in India and what are the problems of teaching English at the secondary level in Telangana or in Andhra Pradesh and in Indian context. All those aspects become a part of this, and based on this chapter you will get 10 bits. Okay. Next, with regard to Unit 2, objectives of teaching, objectives and aims, values, aims and objectives of teaching English. What are the values that are suggested by NCERT to teach English at the secondary level and primary level? And cultural values, social values, moral values, constitutional values, like we need to talk. What are the values that are suggested by J and John Dewey, NCERT or UGC? Next, what are the main aims of teaching English? There are mainly 3 important aims of teaching English, and to promote basic interpersonal communicative skills, and to improve linguistic competence for abstract thought and knowledge acquisition, and to construct discourses. There are only just 3 important objectives, and these objectives include 7 major important objectives. Next, promoting listening comprehension, promoting speaking, promoting reading comprehension, promoting vocabulary, promoting grammatical awareness, promoting reading comprehension, and the last one to construct both oral and written discourses. So these are the major objectives, and these include a number of specifications. My friends, every time as part of Gurukula, as part of any examination, what is the main aim of teaching English in India? The ability to use English, the ability to use basic interpersonal communicative skills in one's practical life. That is the major aim, and you will get at least 7 to 10 bits based on this. Okay. With regard to next Unit 3 is all about child development. There is a lot of connection between educational psychology and this chapter, and where here we'll talk about how educational psychology is connected with English language teaching. And for example, the implications of classical conditioning theories with regard to structural approaches, the implications of cognitive psychology into communicative language teaching, the implications of humanistic psychology suggested by many important psychologists with regard to humanistic approaches to language teaching. Those aspects that we need to talk about as part of this. So how and psychology and language teaching is connected. In terms we need to learn what is the contribution of E.L. Thorndike into ELT, Ian Pavlo into ELT, B.F. Skinner into ELT, and Lev Vygotsky into ELT. All that we need to talk as part of this. A very important chapter. It's not just purely educational psychology or psychology. You need to make connection with how educational psychology is connected with English language teaching, pedagogy of teaching English. Next, another important chapter, and again this is very important chapter, my friends, that you need to understand. Next, language curriculum. What is curriculum? What is syllabus? And what is the difference between curriculum and syllabus? What are the principles of curriculum construction? And what are the stages of curriculum construction? Next, what are the philosophies of curriculum construction? Next, what is syllabus, types of syllabuses, and what is a good textbook? What are the qualities of a good textbook? And what is the criteria for evaluating a good textbook? All these aspects which become a part of language curriculum. My friends, you need to understand every time there will be a bit, what is curriculum, what is syllabus, and 7 major principles suggested by Hilda Taba. In the process of curriculum construction, what is the first step, what is the last step, what is the second step, like that you will get bits with regard to curriculum and the syllabus. Next, another important chapter is language skills, very important chapter. This is considered to be the heart of a human body. Language skills, for example, once you become a TGT in English or PGT in English, what do you do once you go to a school? You want to cultivate how to improve listening, speaking, reading and writing skills in children. So this chapter is going to address all these 4 language skills. What is listening? What are the types of listening? What are the sub-skills of listening? What are the constraints of listening? What are the tasks as a teacher you follow in order to teach and listening skills at the primary and the secondary level? What kind of instructions that you follow as a teacher in the process of improving listening comprehension at the school level? That's what. Next is speaking. What is speaking? Types of speaking. Communication. Types of communication. Sub-skills of communication. Next, and what kind of strategies as a teacher that you follow in the process of improving communicative skills at the secondary level, at the primary level. Next, reading and purpose of reading, types of reading. Next, strategies of reading. As you know, there are mainly two important strategies that you get in the examination. What is skimming and scanning? What is intensive, extensive, silent reading, loud reading? What are the purpose of reading? All that you will get in the, what are the good habits of reading? What are the bad habits of reading? What are the problems of students in the process of learning reading? All that becomes a part of this chapter. Next, again, writing. What is writing? And importance of writing, and mechanics of writing, purposes of writing, types of writing. There are four important types: descriptive, narrative, persuasive, expositive writing. You will, mechanics of writing, every time you will get a bit based on mechanics. There are three important mechanics of writing: spelling abilities, handwriting, and punctuation marks. Very important one that you get as part of your exam. Next, different plans, and at the same time, this chapter also includes what are supplementary skills. Supplementary skills, again, these are categorized in two ways. What are study skills and reference skills? Study skills, again, 4: note making, note taking, and using graphic designers, and paragraph writing. What is note making? What is note taking? What is paragraph writing? What are using graphic designers? Those aspects that you get as part of your exam. Next, reference skills. Using dictionary, encyclopedia, thesaurus, and indices, yearbooks, catalogs. Next, internet. So all that becomes a part of Unit 5. A very important chapter, more than 10 bits that you get in the examination. Next will be approaches, methods, and techniques of teaching English. Very important chapters, my friends. What is approach? What is a method? What is a technique? What is approach? What is a method? What is a technique? Very important one. What is approach? What is method? What is technique? Every time, any examination, whether it is JL or DL or TGT or PGT, if the examination is on ELT, definitely there will be a bit based on these three differences. Okay. Next, what are the various approaches? We have structural approach, oral approach, audiolingual approach, and communicative approach, situational approach, collaborative approach, constructive approach, and eclectic approach, post-method era. See, there are 9 important approaches that every B.Ed teacher should be aware of. What are the various methods? Grammar translation method, direct method, bilingual method, and reading method, activity-based method, silent way, total physical response. Nearly 7 major important methods that are actually cited as part of our examination. Next, what are the important techniques, my friends? There are 4 major important techniques that are actually included as part of our syllabus: remedial teaching, reflective teaching, action research, and reciprocal teaching. Every time there will be a bit based on remedial teaching. Okay, those aspects that you need to cover. It is just like, and this chapter 3 and chapter 6, there is a lot of connection. Once you understand chapter 3, you will be able to understand chapter 5 in a better way. Okay, so chapter 3 plays an important role as a foundation to understand chapter 6. Most of the students understanding approaches, methods, and methods of teaching English is always difficult, but I'll give you very lucid explanation with regard to that. You need to understand there is a proper way to read these chapters. Next, another important chapter. Another important chapter as part of our syllabus is teaching and learning resources and designing instructional materials. Teaching learning materials, teaching learning resources, teaching learning aids. What are teaching aids? What are learning aids? What are visual material, audio visual material? And what is ICT? Okay, what is ICT? There is a bit. And what is CL? What is CAI? Computer aided instruction, computer assisted language learning. There is a bit. What is the full form of CAL? What is the full form of ICT? What is the role of OHP? And what is the role of various visual materials, audio materials, authentic materials? Like that you will get bits based on these teaching learning materials, which is very important. Next, measurement and evaluation in language teaching. What is evaluation? What is formative evaluation, summative evaluation, and and CCE, Continuous Comprehensive Evaluation in ELT. What is the difference between evaluation, measurement and test, my friends? What is evaluation? What is measurement? What is test? Evaluation, measurement and test. There are simple definitions that you can understand in a simple way. And what are the types of tests? What are standardized tests? What are teacher-made tests? What is proficiency, achievement, placement, and aptitude test? All that you need to know. Next, at the same time, you should also have certain idea of what are the qualities of a good test, and what is validity, reliability, objectivity, subjectivity, ambiguity, feasibility, practicality. So all this, every time you will get a bit based on the qualities of a good test. Which of the following is a good quality of a test and not a quality of a good test? Like that you will get bit. Next, annual examinations come under, quarterly and half-yearly examinations come under. Like you will have plenty of bits based on this. Next, what are the approaches to good testing? What is direct testing, indirect testing? What is objective testing, subjective testing, and criterion reference testing, norm reference testing, computer adaptive testing? Like all those concepts become a part of this chapter. And what is blueprint? What is the importance of blueprint? What are the three things that blueprint talks about? Those aspects become a part of Unit 8. Again, based on Unit 8, you will get at least 10. Next, another important chapter. Last two important chapters are learning disabilities and difficulties. Mainly, what are the major learning disabilities with regard to English language teaching? In the process of learning listening, in the process of learning speaking, in the process of learning reading, in the process of learning pronunciation. What are the major difficulties of children with regard to and learning? As you know, some basic terms that you talk about: dyslexia, dysgraphia, agraphia. Those simple aspects that you need to get some idea. What kind of strategies as a teacher that you follow in the process of, and if you find difficulties in reading, in difficulties in LSW, what kind of strategies as a teacher that you follow to and overcome those difficulties that we need to talk about? What kind of instructions, what kind of strategies that you are going to use as a teacher? Next, language and everyday life. Very important chapter, my friend. Simply, this chapter can be language issues and policies. What are the language issues and policies in India before independence, after independence? What were the major language issues that were discussed by Lord Macaulay and Wood's Dispatch and Lord Curzon or Sadler Report? What are the major language issues that were discussed by Raja Ram Mohan Roy before independence? And what were the language issues which were brought by the British government before independence, after independence? After independence, what is the role of University Education Commission 1948 and Central Advisory Board on Education? The ideas of Nehru, the ideas of Rajaji, and Professor H.N. Kunjuru's committee report, G.C. Banerjee report, and study group 1, 2, 3, and Kothari Commission recommendations with regard to language issues of ELT. And what are the major recommendations given by Kothari and Professor V.K. Gokak, and the Curriculum Development Center report? And what are the major national and state curriculum frameworks and which were brought into India and which were brought, and what talk about with regard to ELT? What are the recommendations of NCF 2005 with regard to ELT, NCF 2020 with regard to ELT, SCF 2014 of Telangana with regard to ELT? Like all those recommendations that we need to talk as part of this chapter. A very important chapter. This is nothing but history, studying history of English language teaching apart from these chapters. And we should also give priority for phonetics and teaching pronunciation. Very important chapters, my friend. This is because this chapter is going to play an important role not only in pedagogy of teaching English but also in English language and English literature. So this chapter, which includes sounds of English. What are the sounds of English? What are vowel sounds? What are consonantal sounds? And what are the sounds? 20 vowel sounds total, and 44 speech sounds in English. These 44 speech sounds are categorized in 20 vowels sounds and 24 consonantal sounds. Again, how can you classify these vowel sounds? How can you classify and these consonantal sounds. And consonantal sounds, as you know, can be categorized in three ways based on the position of vocal cords, place of articulation, manner of articulation. Every time you will get a bit. Which of the following are plosives, affricatives, fricatives? Like that you will get bit based on and the sounds of English. Next is stress, very important chapter, my friend. Stress, the degree of force with which we utter a word or a part of a word is called stress. And this stress can be syllable stress or word stress or sentence stress. They will ask you, in the word conduct, the stress is on first or second syllable. The word education, the stress is on first or second or third syllable, like that you will get. Next, and the sentence stress, they will give you a small sentence like, I am going to the market. If the stress is on to the market, what does it mean? Like that you will get bit. Next, intonation. What does it mean by intonation? Intonation, the rise and fall of one's pitch is called intonation. And this intonation, intention. This intonation will talk about what is the intention, what is the internal meaning, implied meaning of the speaker. And this intonation can be falling tone, falling rising, falling tone. You will get bits. Please close the door. The above sentence is expressed in falling, rising, falling tone, like that. Next, stop talking, and what kind of tone is used in this. Next, like that, in commands we commonly use, in request we commonly use, in greetings we commonly use, and like that you will get bits based on intonation. And teaching pronunciation, what kind of techniques as a teacher you follow to teach pronunciation at the second level, at the primary level in the process, where we talk about a lot of techniques, use of tongue twisters, use of minimal pairs, use of songs, rhymes, and use of language laboratory. Like there are plenty of techniques that we talk about as part of this chapter, and this is with regard to this. And what kind of reference books that we need to focus on? If you really want to be a state ranker, if you want to be a topper, and if you really want to get and good marks as part of this pedagogy of English language or pedagogy of teaching English, you need to focus on these books: Pedagogy of Teaching English by Telugu Academy, and latest one, and Methods of Teaching English, latest book from Telugu Academy. Handbooks, there are different handbooks. Once you visit TS-CRT website, there are two important handbooks that are suggested by the government, SCRT, the director, a group of experts from SCRT, and if you need to focus on those two handbooks. Next, very important book, and if you are really preparing for JL or DL examination or any kind of English language teaching examination, you need to focus on these aspects: Approaches and Methods of Teaching English by Richardson Rogers, Teaching English by Geeta Nagarajan, Teaching English by ML Tuku. Like there are plenty of books that I can tell you. Next, Note to the Teacher. Every textbook at the end you can find a note to the teacher. Focus on that, read those aspects. Those will give you 1, 2, 3 marks. Refer previous question papers, very important one this is. Refer 2017 question papers, 18 question papers. If you want, refer School Assistant English question papers from 2004, 2006, 2008, 2012, 2017, 2014. And next, C-TET, very important one that I can tell you. And C-TET and paper 1 and paper 2, you observe this Pedagogy of Teaching English bits and try to make notes if you really want. Next, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Venkanna English Guru, so that you will be able to, and subscribe to this YouTube channel, Venkanna English Guru, so that I'll be posting a lot of free materials and free video lectures on this YouTube channel, and circulate to your friends who are seriously preparing for this TGT English or PGT English or JL English or DL English, or this Pedagogy of Teaching English also plays an important role as part of AP-TET or TS-TET or UGC NET. Chapter 5 and 6 are related to Pedagogy of Teaching English. So these aspects will be more important. Subscribe to that and enjoy reading and becoming a good job holder. Bye then.